Hi, I'm Lisa from Shannon Media. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
Hello.
meet you.
Congratulations on this show. It is definitely something that's very heavy. So I'm curious, when you leave set, are you able to like leave it kind of your characters and all that stuff on set? And what do you do to kind of wind down after an intense day of filming?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Most
yeah.
of the time, we're working long hours. Yeah, I'd say it was pretty easy to sort of brush it off a bit because we have a lot to do during the day. There's a lot of us, so I would say, like, at least from my experience, it was a pretty shared sense of like, okay, and now we're done. Let's go home.
Yeah, definitely that. Occasionally, at times during filming, there were times when I was just like, I'm just gonna have to live with Scotty for the next few days, But overall, it like Tanner said, it's like once we're done with the day, it's like, okay, well, got that chunk over with. Like now we can relax for a little second at least,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Gig.
Yeah, Gig Pata with LRM Online. Reader, Tanner, hey, you guys did terrific in this series. I want to know how you created this, camaraderie, friendship that your two characters actually have. Did you met prior to this, or did you guys just go on a whim?
It's actually it's kind of a funny story because we both are in Los Angeles, and so we were flying out to go film for the first time, and we were at LAX, and we ended up in the same line because there was some COVID information mix up, and so they were about to send us out of the airport, and we just looked at each other and like, are you in the wilds? Who you playing? Yep. Oh, we're best friends. All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, like having that be your first experience with the guy that you're supposed to be best friends with, and you start off on such a funny note, and it's already like a great story. Like there was just this feeling of like, okay, yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. And of course, like we hung out outside of the set, and that was also just great.
Yeah. All of that, like Scotty and Bo friendship, that's real. That's real. Very, very real.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jamie?
Hi, I'm Jamie Ruby from Sci-Fi Vision. So can you talk a bit about the characters' friendship and how important you think that is to kind of their survival on the island and the group dynamics in general?
For Bo, I think it's important for the friendship to last because they met each other when they were very young, and Bo comes from a abusive household, and Scotty has pretty much been his saving grace, the only one who's really kept him sane. And when you're on the island and it's high stakes and it's just trauma and pain, like you need somebody by your side. And I think Bo is probably happiest when he's with Scotty.
Yeah. And I think off of that, like a lot of Scotty's energy and MO almost is like being a protector and being a provider and stuff. And so, the ways that he leans on Bo also leans on him. And I think, especially once they get to the island, Scotty sort of has this idea of like, okay, well, whatever happens, like, I'm going to make sure that we're good. You know what I mean? And that's like the joy in having somebody that's a ride or die, because Scotty and Bo are unbreakable. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing that could come in between them looking out for each other.
Great. Thank you so much. And congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Megan?
Hi, I'm Megan Pacious. I work for Beautiful Ballad. Thank you guys so much for speaking with us today. My question for both of you guys is, and you kind of elaborated a little bit in the previous question, but Scotty and Bo are ride and die. They rely on each other so much. So for both of you, is there somebody in your life who you would call either your Scotty or Bo?
My girlfriend is she's a ride or die. She always has my back. She's not exactly my Bo, because she's not as innocent or sweet as Bo towards me at least, but she definitely looks out for me. That's nice.
Yeah, I would say I don't really have one person. I have like a small group of friends that I made in college, and I moved in with them right after, and that was around the time where the pandemic started. So we bonded a lot because, you know, like we all had to get second jobs and just try to keep hustling. So I would say my small little group of friends from college.
Perfect. Thank you.
Katya?
Hi, Kathy Woods Social. This show is a lot about survival and having to kind of like the fear of the unknown. We've just kind of like had a real life of survival these last couple of years. How much has, you know, that kind of like prepared you for a little bit of playing this role? Because it is, a lot of it is guessing, who can you trust? How do you navigate? And then also finding out that you have selfish tendency because we all want to make it, you know? So how has real life kind of like prepared you for the role?
You know, I would say like due to COVID, you know, I feel like this is a universal feeling, like something like COVID-19 happening really puts things into perspective, you know, and it really gives you a chance to know yourself. Like you don't have a choice but to know yourself and understand why you feel certain ways and stuff. And so that was definitely like, it was like blind lessons, you know. Who knew we would end up on a show where we would have to have that same feeling of like, man, I'm so confused. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I know I have to survive. You know what I mean? And it you know, it was beautiful to be able to dive deeper into that for the show and put ourselves in different circumstances, you know. And it was like we were stranded because I didn't know Tanner before we started filming. I didn't know anybody in the cast, but we were put in this situation and we had to survive, and we, you know, made a little skit because of it. But it was, you know, it was very very close in relation.
Yeah, I would say the isolation was something that really prepared me for the wilds, because whenever there's a scene going on, we're all usually there because there's nobody else on the island. Like we all have to be involved. So even if you don't have any scenes where you're speaking, there's a lot of emotions going around. And I think having the isolation from the beginning of the pandemic was like, it was just a good, like, it was a good training tool, unintentionally, but it was good training.
Great. Thank you, Lisa.
So I will hold this until obviously after the show comes out, but I'm curious, how much of the scripts and the season do you get ahead of time? Do you already know like all at once, or do you form your own theories going along if information is held from you?
We got every episode like right before pretty much we all started filming. So like when we got the script for me and Reed's episode, we read it and immediately FaceTimed each other afterwards and was like, yeah, because we didn't know like what was going to happen. And every time we got a script, everybody would like hunker away for like an hour and then just like scroll through the whole thing.
Radio silence immediately. Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
They didn't tell us much, to be honest. You know, like you said, we would get it like a week out or something and then obsessed. But it's like, it was so crazy. It felt even more of a deep obsession because it was like, this is what we're out here for. And we've only shot 2 episodes and who knows what's going to happen in the next episode. Like the writers know, but we're sitting here like, so what do you think is going to happen? You know, we always have theories though. Like me and Tanner talk about theories every time we get together. Every
time.
Thank you.
Gig?
Yeah, Gig Paddle with the LRM Online. Reed, Tanner, I can't imagine, you know, the long production times that you have to be on set, not to mention being on an island or on a beach, because you know, there's a lot of downtime, you know, waiting for rescue for your characters. But as actors, what do you guys do during the long production downtimes on production set?
Well, surprisingly, we didn't really get tired of each other. So we would always just hang out, because like there's nobody else really around, like kind of going through what you're going through. So you really stick together. So I think that was something that we did a lot. A lot of games, played a lot of games. And like probably my favorite part is when we weren't on set, Reed's always working on music. He's always kind of singing to himself. So it's like having a little jukebox with you all the time, because he's just singing and dancing all the time.
It's true. I don't know how else to keep myself like from running around everywhere except for like singing or something. And it's cool because there's a lot of people in the cast that are like musical, like Aiden, who plays Henry. We make music all the time together, and so we did that. Lots of jokes, lots of, there was one night we were in a night shoot, and it was like 2 a.m. or something like that. And you just look around and we were all just like sleeping, just waiting for the call, eating the snacks. In Australia, they have like afternoon tea and like, before lunch, and the snacks out there were great. So, just get into whatever, just try and stay out the way. That was my my plan.
Great. Sounds like the good life instead of the characters. Thank you.
Jamie?
So if the two of you were stranded on a desert island for real, each separate though, how do you think you'd be able to survive? And if you could take one character with you, who would you take and why?
I think I would be able to survive. I grew up like hunting like in the Northwest woods, so I think I'd be able to survive for a bit. I would honestly bring Reed, because like we already have a great camaraderie together, but I'm not super fast and he is. So like I could ask, so like while I'm out getting water, I could ask him like, go like, I don't know, like catch some rabbits. Just
thanks.
Running through the woods.
On it. Yeah, no, I would definitely take Tanner. I don't know if I would last as long, even as long as the guys lasted on the island. Like I would probably mentally tap out at some point. I'd just be like, man, this is rock bottom for real. I would try my hardest though.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you, both of you.
Megan?
What would you say was the most challenging part for both of you bringing the season to life?
I feel like maybe for me, it was just sort of being secure in the choices that I was making as an actor, and also in relation to everybody in the cast, because we were still getting to know each other. And, this is a pretty big project and we're hoping that it'll last for a while. And so, we want to be cordial and cool, and, definitely navigating a new life in Australia was very interesting. But yeah, like making the right choices overall was a gamble.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. Imposter syndrome is a real thing, and that was something that I struggled with just because I'm so new. Like I hopped on this, and everybody else like around in the cast has had experience and already sort of knows what they're doing, or at least that's what I thought. But talking to Reed, it's the same thing. Like you want to show up and do your best work and do what everybody wants to see. So you have to trust your instincts. And I think that was something that I learned about myself, was that like I got to learn to trust my instincts.
And that's one of the beautiful things about this cast. Like we all somehow just understand where we're at, in our journeys and in our capabilities and stuff like that. And so it was really relieving to be in this situation with like 15 new people, actors, the actor type, and not feel judged or like you can't make a mistake. You know what I mean? Like there was so much room to grow as people, as actors, as in telling this story, this specifically.
we really had each other's backs on all of it, and I just can't say enough. I'm just so thankful for these guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Perfect. Thank you.
Katia?
You know, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, I mean, like most of us are not out in the wilderness like that. What was like one little creepy crawler, one creature that you were like, oh, it's getting real now? Like it's like this is something where, I mean, I know I'm supposed to lean in, but this is testing all of my goodwill. What was like some creature, whether it was a reptile or something that you were like,
Yo.
is there somebody here in case this goes wrong?
You know, Australia is infamous for the big freaking monster spiders or whatever. I never saw one. I never saw one of the big ones. What are they, hunter spiders or something?
Huntsman
But
spiders, yeah.
one time we were filming a scene in a car, and I went to the bathroom because we were like down in milkshakes and stuff, and I was just, it threw me. And I went to the bathroom, and when I was leaving the bathroom, I saw this big spider crawl out from the sink, and I was like, yo, I was just, that could have got me, you know? So I was like, all right, y'all need to get me out of here. I can't do this no more.
Yeah, thankfully, like I didn't find any like huge spiders. Like I can deal with snakes because like a snake, you can like realistically, you can grab it and throw it. You can't grab a spider and throw it. Like you can't defend yourself. You just got to run.
Yeah.
But I would say like there were definitely like some big spiders around, but we were filming a scene where like me and him are sitting on a log, and we wrapped and we were getting ready to move locations, and I looked behind us and there was this humongous snake skin. Well, I thought it was a snake at first, but it was just this huge snake skin. And I had this moment where I was like, they're all around us.
Oh no. No way. They're everywhere.
Thank you.
Lisa, we have time for one last question.
I'll make this quick. If there's a season 3, which of the female characters are you most excited to see your character interact with? If you could just pick one.
Yeah, go Tanner, go.
I really want to see Bo interact with Shelby. I can't put a finger on it, but like there's something about like Bo's very soft, and he's very like he's a huggable guy. He's a teddy bear, and I would love to see the optimism just ping back and forth between Bo and Shelby.
Thanks. I want to see something between Scotty and Leah, because Leah's kind of kooky and Scotty is very, very practical. And I just honestly, like, not for any plot point, I think it would just be funny to see them in the same room and she's like tweaking and he's like, this is crazy. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you all.